What's something that's incredibly full of shit that nobody really realizes? Some charities. I've been a volunteer most of my life and have really ramped it up the last 6 years. I used to support several charities until I decided to disassociate from a couple of them because of the misuse of money. One of them in particular had 2 people that founded it, and one of them quit suddenly for no reason. The other one was always giving me the skunk eye whenever I showed up to help. If I'm using my personal time to volunteer, I don't need an attitude from one of the founders. The breaking point for me was seeing one of the biggest and most expensive BMWs in their parking spaces that the founder had purchased with the donated money. I've since learned that any 501c3 charity can use up to 97% of donation money on expenses, with only 3% going to the intended recipient. I don't know if that's a national thing or just in my state, but I know that's a fact from where I am. When people donate to me to help buy Star Wars toys for the kids in the hospital, I always post all the receipts online and any checks that cover the cost, and always show pictures of me buying the toys and dropping them off every single time. I want to stay 100% transparent with every transaction. 100% comes in and 110% goes out because my wife and I kick in money in as well. I don't have any overhead, so there's no reason for me to take a penny. I considered a huge privilege to be able to help others in need, and I enjoy making people smile. There are websites you can go to look at reviews and the transactions of charities that you might be giving to, and can make decisions on whether to continue to give or move your donation money elsewhere. Susan G. Komen pissed me the fuck off with this because they put that pink ribbon on literally everything: pay a few cents or $1 more on your box of cereal or whatever, and basically nothing goes to the research. Infuriating. Every content creator trying to gain a YouTube partnership by creating staged content that is framed in a way that makes it look real and spontaneous. YouTube used to be a really special thing, but I'd say the vast majority of content now is low-quality bullshit. It's all fake, staged, and exists solely to get views. The few channels that do make genuine, unique, or informative content just don't get the views because bullshit sells. That's such a broad statement, but it all depends where you're looking and what you're looking for. If you're on YT to find something specific and authentic, you'll find it. Content farms like 5-minute crafts can get in the bin though. Even the shit that isn't staged is just riddled with the content creators begging for likes, subs, and comments. Many of the channels that I feel produce decent content still have to stop 2 to 3 times a video to remind you to like, subscribe, comment. After a while, it's just like they're all begging. If the content is good, you'll subscribe, but when they continually interrupt the video, even if only for a moment, to remind you to like and comment, I'm usually done with them. Influencers/YouTubers when they advertise products that I know for a fact they don't/wouldn't use. Listen bro, I know you aren't playing Raid Shadow Legends, but I realize you have to make money somehow. When you're playing Raid Shadow Legends while using NordVPN and snacking on Nature Box while also using Rakins on BlueStacks. Can you give me a 5-minute ad read for BlueStacks? I don't know what it is, and I'm hoping it can be used to cure my massive hemorrhoids or shave my balls, at least one of those two. Detox products are bullshit. You very likely don't have heavy metals or parasites in your body. If you do, there's not a dietary supplement that can treat you. Your kid didn't shit out a tapeworm. That's intestinal lining. Detox, also known as what your body is doing naturally, by itself, all the time. Who has 2 kidneys and filters her own blood? This gal. My utmost respect to my no kidney fam, keep up that dialysis. You'll get a donor one day. Hey! Don't forget the liver, does some good detoxing too. You're right. I didn't give the liver any credit. The human body is a marvelous machine and heavy metal poisoning needs to be treated by doctors. My human body is a disgusting house of terrors and I am ashamed to have one. Hey, now. Done people love a good house of terror. Don't you ever be ashamed. The paper bag I'm gonna put on your porch later. Thanks, I'm very hungry. Don't forget to tip your dasher. Food, slightly used. Care to share? Cartman's nanny? They let you out of the asylum? The Kardashian/Jenner/any other rich celebrity that sets beauty standards while lying, directly and by omission, about how they achieve those. Fuck that. The stupid Instagram/TikTok content where they play someone else's video and put their own face in it reacting. Shit is lame as hell and such a cop-out. I get if they add commentary or their opinion, but when they just sit there and laugh or some other emotion that is so weak as their own content. Laughing is at least something. Half of them literally just silently stare. It's like you literally add nothing to video at all. Come on now, give them some credit. Some will do their nods in agreement. End point. Apple products that are not devices. Their microfiber cloth costs 2 days of minimum wage in my country. Apple has a vertical monopoly and a lot of their pricing shows it. My favorite is how they hold media and communication hostage from non-Apple users. My dad sent me a video of my niece recital and it might as well have been a video of mud because I couldn't see anything or hear anything that sounded like music. Meanwhile, the video is beautiful high definition in all the rest of the family's iPhones. Fuck you, Apple, I'll never buy your devices. That's because iPhone users receive the video via iMessage whereas Android has to receive it over MMS, which compresses the ever-loving crap out of videos. I'm an unabashed Android user for what it's worth. Yup, I'm in the same boat as the sole Android user in the family. We've started using WhatsApp to share videos and photos in high quality and it works really well. American tipping culture. It's always been bullshit, but it's getting beyond ridiculous with the new payment kiosks where the tip screen automatically pops up. Caught me off guard once when I was at a sit-down place, not a fancy restaurant, and they brought the smartphone card reader thing over and swiped my card then and there. I was then presented with tip options like 22%, 25%, and 28% or something. I hadn't calculated the tip out yet cause I was expecting the normal take your card, swipe it, bring the receipt back for you to sign and leave process. I think I selected 22% cause the person was literally standing there holding the device waiting for my selection. I've had to do this as a server at a fairly nice place because our internet went down and I didn't like it from my side either. It dehumanizes both participants in the interaction. Instead of just fulfilling the server and customer roles, you now have to interact with an unliked robotic middleman as well. The dieting industry. Cutting out entire food groups or drinking magical weight loss potions or whatever is not sustainable and will lead to failure. You'd be much better off eating what you do now, but in smaller portions. Get out of here with that simple, logical, reasonable advice. For real. My wife refuses to eat rice or potatoes I make for dinner because of carbs, then 2 hours later she will end up eating chips and ice cream. I just can't understand it. It's not a rational thought process. My mom is fixated on the fact that I occasionally eat white rice with Asian food, and apparently that's the source of everything wrong in the world. Just pretend it's a goddamn potato. Didn't you know, rice and potatoes is the reason our grandparents were obese? "40-hour work weeks." They are an artifact from when the standard was one family member working and one not working. A 40-hour week is fine if you have someone taking and collecting kids from school, cleaning, washing, and cooking. With both parents working, the 40-hour week becomes an unbearable slog. You have to pay more for childcare and get almost no relaxing time. Not to mention missing your kids growing up, patents growing old, etc. That was never the standard, it was only possible for wealthy Americans in the post-WW2 economic boom. Poor families have always had both parents working, for all of human history, and usually all the kids too. Even then, 40-hour work weeks leave very little in the way for downtime depending on other variables. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.